I'm gonna show y'all how to take a sample and turn it into a Rick Ross, Nipsey Hussle, Jay-Z type of beat. So first, what you wanna do is you wanna upload the sample. So we're gonna grab the Edison. We're gonna take this from KXVI. Shout out to KXVI, I don't even know who that is, but this is the sample. Alright, so you can hear from that, that's fire. Most of the time when you taking a sample, you definitely want the sample to be fire before you even put the drums to it. Alright, so the next thing you're gonna wanna do is go to the tempo of the sample, right? And one thing you wanna keep in mind when you're making like a Rick Ross type beat, you wanna keep it more soulful. And in this sample here, as you can hear, it's kind of pitched kind of high. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pitch it down some. Let's see, about three semitones, see how that sounds. I feel like that sounds a little bit better. What y'all think? All right, so now that I got the tempo and I got the pitch, I actually slowed it down to 79. It was at 81. What you want to do after you do that, you want to go and get you some realistic sounding drums. What I mean by that, drums that sound like a real drummer's playing them. So a good reference to that would be like Cardiac, A-Rap music, drums like that. So let me, something like that, y'all. Real drums. So let me play the sample. So I'm gonna just play like a basic pattern so y'all can like get the feel and the understand of what I'm trying to do. This is not gonna be the ending result. This is just something to just throw in here for now. So. Alright, so now I got my basic drum pattern, but the problem is it's basic, so I want to make it more realistic to like what a drummer would do. So I'm gonna play the basic drum pattern, then we're gonna go ahead and change it. Alright, see that drum pattern is good, but I want to go ahead and change that. Alright, so I had a snare pattern here. What I'm gonna want to do is add some rolls to the snare, make it sound more realistic, and change the velocity on some of the hits of the snare. So here, I'm gonna go ahead and add a roll here. We can change that, bring that down some. We can bring this down. We can bring that one down. Cool, let's turn this down. All right, so let's hear how it sounds now. Now we're gonna go ahead and copy and paste it to the other snares. And the reason we got other snares in there is to make the snare sound more real and more full and get like a better sound. So that sounds way better. So now that we got the snare rolls and we got the kick, as you can see too, I added an extra kick up under the original kick I had just to give it some more fullness to it. I'm not mixing it. I'm gonna say that for another video. I'm just showing y'all just like the basic steps. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna go into adding the hi-hat. So yeah, I know I put a tom in there, but I'm not using the tom. I wanna get the fruity slicer. But we're gonna add a hi-hat in there. So what you wanna do with a hi-hat, on these type of drums, you wanna get something that's realistic. Cardiac has real good hi-hat loops. So I'm gonna take a, I'm gonna gonna take this right here. I like that. You know, we're gonna chop it up on 4, and we're just gonna go not too crazy with it. So this is what we're gonna do. We can repeat this like that. Bring this up so it can give some realness to it. And then there we go, let's hear it. Alright, so now we got the hi-hat in there. I'm gonna go throw the bass in there. Y'all can see I'm all over the place because normally I would have threw my bass before the hi-hat, but just bear with me. So remember we pitched the sample down 3 semitones, so it was F minor, so that means the main note is gonna be at A minor. No, not A, I'm sorry, not A, that'll be D. So let's go throw a bass line in there. Let's mute it so we can hear it. Alright, so I believe it's gonna stop here. Nice little drop there, and we can repeat that, and it should be good. Alright, so now I got the bass line in there. I'm gonna add a piano to make the sample sound a little bit more full. Make it sound a little bit more better. So I got a grand piano from Nexus. Let's go ahead and add like a chord in there. Alright, that sounds pretty alright. So remember when you playing your chords to randomize the velocities too, so it can sound more real. Replay that and put that there. Alright. We're gonna keep that. And we're gonna put this. That. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go up under it and play. Like that, so let's keep that in there. All right, so now we got the bass line, we got the piano. All we really need to do now is just throw the percussion in there. So like I said before, you want to get like realistic sounding instruments or drums. All right, you can see we got the crash, we got the open hat, and we got another cymbal. So I'm gonna throw this crash right there. The open hat can hit every part right there, and let this cymbal follow the snare, and that'll make it work. Let's hear it. Mind, when it get mixed, it's gonna sound totally different. So keep that in mind. All right, so now that we got the percussion, bass line, piano, and the drums, all you really need now is just drum fill. So I'm gonna grab this right here. So I'm gonna let you hear it. We're gonna put the metronome on to time it. All I want is the toms at the end. I do not want the drums. Oh, it's crazy. It's on beat already too. I ain't even gotta touch it. So this is all I really want is this part here. All right. So we can just throw that. Watch how much better it's gonna make it sound. So as you can see, that's basically the concept of making like a Rick Ross, Jay-Z, Nipsey Hussle type of beat. You need the drums to sound realistic, basically. So I'm gonna just show you the drum pattern. Simple. You can add more percussion if you want. That's optional. It's totally up to you. But yeah, to me, it really just comes down to your mix, and then that's it.